Hello, everybody. Good to see y'all again. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties here. Even as I'm talking to you, it looks like it's kind of choppy. There's been a lot going on here. I'll kind of update y'all on what's going on. Man, why is it doing that? All right. They've changed a lot of stuff on StreamYard since I've been on here last. And so I'm kind of trying to figure it out, but I'll get it figured out before we do the next one of those. Today's been a crazy day for me. I delivered a load this morning and I had two doctor's appointments. Um, the first doctor's appointment was with my regular physician, and he was real excited about the progress I've made. Said I'd lost another 10 pounds since my last doctor's appointment. Said that my numbers were where he wanted to see them. And so the next time I'll see him is in April. He did do some blood work, so if there's something weird there, he might see me sooner. Otherwise, I'm good till April. The one that got me, though, is the neurologist. So I know this because we were having trouble with health insurance, and they said if I had to pay cash for the office visit, that it would be $188 or $186, something like that. And so, when they deal with insurance, they charge it twice as much probably. So it's probably a $360 to $400 visit. And I get there and they take me back. They check my blood pressure. They ask me if I'm still taking all my medications and if I have any questions. And then that's it. They go, okay, we'll see you in 6 months. And I'm going, man, what a total waste of time and money. And I don't feel like my health improved at all from that visit. But no wonder that health insurance is as expensive as it is because everybody's milking the system. And I didn't even intend on talking about this tonight, but I talked to a couple people on the phone afterwards, and it's just like the more I think about it, the more it irritates me. I took off work, not necessarily for just this appointment, but imagine if I had taken off work for just this appointment, just to go there and get a wrist blood pressure thing taken, like the little digital ones you buy at Walmart, and for them to ask me if I'm taking my medications and I have any questions. If I have any questions, I'll call them. I know their phone number. But anyway, that's one of the things that just really chapped my hide today. Delivery went well this morning. I delivered pinto beans here in Lubbock, Texas, and they actually gave me a 4-pound bag of pinto beans. They know me there, and every time I go there, they're like, "Hey, you want a free bag of beans?" Sure. So I took the 4-pound bag of pinto beans, and that's the great thing about beans. They last a long time, so I don't have to eat them quickly. They can be eaten at a later date. Cook them up and eat them. But I also booked some loads today. I've booked myself for the remainder of the year. So basically what I'm doing, to summarize for everybody, I'm taking the 24th and 25th off unless I see something local I could do real quick. And then I've got the rest of the year that I'm basically running back and forth to Dallas. It's about 350 miles or so each way. And so just kind of taking it easy for the remainder of the year. And then in January, we're going to hit it hard and heavy. As far as one thing I'm noticing, and this is what prompted me to do a live video today. Last night, I was watching another live. It's a live I'm sure you're all familiar with. And they were talking about a company that I'm very familiar with, and they were giving out bad information. Now, I can't say for certain if they were doing it intentionally or if they just didn't know. And so what I wanted to say about that, there's been a lot of talk on the YouTubes here lately about recruiting, YouTube recruiters, things like that. And I've already commented about it some on other lives and things like that. But I think tonight I probably should say a little more about it. So I want to be clear because you guys know I sold cars in the past. I was really good at it, and sales in general, it's normal to make a sale, to ask for referrals, things like that. As a matter of fact, something that you don't know about the car business or you may not be aware of, car salesmen do it too. When I sold cars, they call it a bird dog. When I sold cars before, if I had somebody I couldn't get financed, I would refer them to friends that sold cars and they would try to sell them a car. And I would get paid a bird dog if they bought a car from that other dealer after I'd tried to help them and was unable to. And same thing, they'd send me people they couldn't get financed. And so I would usually get $200 or $300 per referral, and you'd get 2 or 3 a month usually. And so it was a nice little side income. The customer was happy because they got a car, and it was a little money for me. I didn't do all that work for nothing. And the salesman was happy because he got a sale, and in some cases I got a sale. So it was a win-win for everybody involved. And same thing, if you have a life insurance agent or somebody comes see you, uh, oftentimes after they sell you a policy, they'll say, anybody else that might be looking for life insurance? Referrals can be a great way to get a customer because if you're being referred from a friend, it's they've got some credibility. It makes the sale a lot easier. Where you've got a problem is when you've got people that do it dishonestly. And so what I would say about that is if you're, if you like where you're at, then fine, share it. Tell everybody what you like about it. But when you make a video and you go, this place is perfect, I have no complaints, there's nothing wrong, then it really kills your credibility and it hurts YouTube for everybody. YouTube should be a place where you can go and get information and learn about how to fix stuff, what companies are good, what companies are bad. But there's some people that are so motivated by referrals and things like that that they'll say anything just to get you to put their driver number down. And you guys know I love it here at SRO Logistics. I've got his email down in the ticker at the bottom of the screen. However, that doesn't mean I think it's perfect here. That doesn't mean that there's not some things I don't like about it. It just means that for me it works well, and I'm very happy here. It does not mean that you would be happy here. You very well might be. Everybody I know that's here is happy, but everybody's looking for something different. And so you're not going to see me developing a dance. You're not going to see me telling you that it's perfect. There's nothing wrong with it. You are going to see me say that I'm very happy here. And you are going to see me say that if you're curious about the company, to email that email and ask your own questions. Do your own research. Pull the safer score of whatever company you're looking at. Do a little bit of research. We just, so many times we want to watch one YouTube video and blame that YouTuber for our success or failure at a company. And this guy last night, it got to the point where they were just making fun of him in the video because it was a clear recruiting attempt. And I want to be very clear that I'm not against recruiting. I think it's fine, but have some integrity when you do it. And don't make it a condition for if you'll help somebody or not. Look, we all do stuff every day that doesn't benefit us at all. When I went to the neurologist today, there was a handicapped person. I say handicapped, they were on a walker. I held the door for them so that they could get in. Did that benefit me? No, not at all. Probably held me up a couple of minutes, but it was the right thing to do. And we need to quit trying to have this me first mentality, and it seems to get worse around the holidays, and start trying to uh, think about someone besides ourselves, trying to help others, things like that. The one thing I've learned, and it's been very evident the last 2 years, the more I try to help others, the more good things that happen to me. And now I'm not suggesting that should be your motivation for why you help somebody, but I'm saying that it couldn't hurt. Just take a month, take January, and just try to help others without expecting anything in return. Now, I'm not suggesting you let people take advantage of you or run over you, but hold the door open for somebody. If you're at a truck stop, help somebody back into their spot if you see they're having trouble. What do we all do now? We pull out our cameras and start recording it and see if we can get it on Bonehead Truckers or something like that. Don't do that. Get out and help people. You guys remember it had a big impact on me. One of my viewers said that as a result of watching one of my videos, he was in a toll road oasis and he saw a broke down car and he took him over a couple of bottles of water. Another situation, didn't benefit that driver at all, but maybe it'll inspire them to go out and do something nice for somebody else. It's the only way we make this place a better world. And so if you're going to recruit on YouTube, great, recruit on YouTube. If you want to make a dance on YouTube, great, make a dance on YouTube. But tell the truth, tell the good and the bad. I've said this in several videos. I could come on here and I could say SRO Logistics is the worst company I've ever worked for. And I hate it here and I'm not making a dollar. And there'd be 3 or 4 guys that would say, Todd, I don't believe it's that bad. I want to try it. And I could come on here and say, SRO Logistics is the best company I've ever worked for. And that would be true, by the way. But there would be 3 or 4 guys that would go, well, if it's that great, I want to work there. You guys that are out here trying to get referrals, you're still going to get them. Just tell the truth. Be honest. Give out good information. Last night I heard stuff, they were talking about that company I'm very familiar with that was way off base. And I don't know if they meant that or not. If you don't know the answer to a question, say, hey, I don't know the answer to that. I'll find out for you. Or here's a phone number. Call this guy. He'll be able to tell you for sure. And I just listened to this nonsense and I didn't even comment in the video. But I thought, man, there's somebody that's going to watch this and go, well, if it's that perfect, I want to work there. And they hopefully do their own research and develop their own opinions about that company. And so with that, I'm going to jump into some of these comments here. I had a bad day. I didn't grab my headset out of the truck. I'm actually using a broken headset that I taped together so I could do this video because I didn't have time to run to the truck and get the other one. And just all kinds of technical issues. But we're going to get through this. Hopefully this battery, I don't know if you can see it, I've got a cord plugged into it right now. So hopefully it's charging while we're on here. I'm going to try to unplug it because it's really inconvenient. All right, we'll see how it does. All right, let's jump into some comments here. My good friend Adam was the first in today. He said he'll be at church play practice and he'll catch me on the replay. All right, my friend. By the way, Adam, I need to talk to you. I want to know how your situation's changed. I know you were getting ready to make some big changes in your life, and I just want to get a status update. So I'll try to call you tomorrow, but if I don't, just remind me. I want to kind of hear how your situation's going and see if I can help in any way. Gary Cook says, welcome back to the trucking world. Well, I've made a few recorded videos. I did go on one live stream, and I've had lots of invitations to go on more live streams, and I said, well, I need to get mine back up before I go on anybody else's. And so the goal is, and here's the big announcement, I'm going to try to go back to Tuesdays and Thursdays. Uh, I thought I was doing them at 6 p.m. I've been told I was doing them at 5 p.m. So I'm going to try to go back to that. Obviously, I don't think a lot of you will watch on Christmas Eve. If you think you would, then I'll do one Christmas Eve. But right after Christmas, we'll get the Tuesday and Thursday thing going again. I'm still going to try to pump out some recorded videos as well. By the way, you ain't going to believe this, but let me go up here. We've still got some channel members. We've actually got 4, which blows my mind. It tells me what a great community we've got here, because I haven't put out any content for them in a while. I'm going to try to work on that as well. But our 4 channel members are Robbie Ross, KC, Ramon, and Adam. So thank y'all for that. And I'm sorry I've kind of let y'all down in that area. I'm going to try to get better about that. And my good friend Red Raider Reloading is here. He says, hello all, Merry Christmas. Yeah, by the way, Merry Christmas to everybody. I'm sorry I didn't open the show saying Merry Christmas. One thing I would ask while we're at this point in the show, if you could give me a thumbs up, share this video out, and subscribe. We're hovering right around 7,000 subscribers right now. I've made no bones about it, no secrets about it. I really want to get to 10,000. So tell your friends, anything you can do to help me get to that $10,000 or 10,000 subscriber mark, not $10,000, would greatly be appreciated. A lot more opportunities open up for you on YouTube when you organically get to the 10,000. And so that's something that I hope that we achieve in 2025. Right now, we're hovering right around 7,000, as I said. A few people will drop off and a few people will subscribe. The analytics tell me we're net adding about 2 people a day. So hopefully by the end of the year, we'll be at 7,000 consistently. But I really want 10, and anything y'all can do to make that happen, I would greatly appreciate it. And Gary Cook says, Merry Christmas to all. Yes, Merry Christmas indeed. Is anybody doing anything cool this Christmas? I'm going over to my uncle's, and we're having a non-traditional Christmas. We're going to be having Mexican food, and I'm actually kind of excited about that. I think pretty much everybody that lives in West Texas loves Mexican food, and so I'm looking forward to that. Gary Cook says, who's ready for a new year, a better year? I believe it's coming. I do too. I'm already seeing things getting a little better. I'm having a lot of loads. I had one the other day that was a little over $4 a mile. It was like 408 a mile. I've had several that were over $3, and a lot of them that were between $2.50 and $3 a mile. So I'm cautiously optimistic. I think things are getting better. It's not definitely not like it was a couple of years ago, but it's a lot better than what it was earlier this year. So let's keep praying, keep our fingers crossed, and I think things are getting better. Michael says, so you had to pay 2 times to have your blood pressure checked. Well, fortunately, because of the stroke, I met all my deductibles this year, and so I didn't have to pay at either place. Everything's free right now for the next few weeks. I just ordered about $4,000 worth of medications at the pharmacy, and they'll be ready the day after Christmas, and I won't have to pay nothing for those. But come January 1st, it's time to start paying again. Lance says it's the Y2K glitch late. Yeah. I used to call it Technical Tuesday because it seemed to happen on all my Tuesday shows, but today it was just I'm out of practice. I hadn't done this in a while, and so I gotta get back to the routine. And like I say, StreamYard. Oh, let me talk about StreamYard a second, which for those that don't know, StreamYard is the service that I use to be able to broadcast this out on LinkedIn, on YouTube, on Facebook. It's supposed to be on X, but it didn't go on there. I got to figure out why. I think I have to be premium on X. But they used to be really reasonably priced, like $40 a month or something. And they've basically doubled it. It's like $90 now. So I got to make a lot of videos just to get my money's worth out of it, or do a lot of these live streams. I got to religiously do 2 a week to make it worth it. What works for one person may not work for another person. Everyone is different. Yeah, that's a great point, Gary. I had a guy call me this week that he's also doing the spot market for another company, and he was complaining that all the spot market is live load and live unload. And I'm like, how much research did he do if he didn't know that? I mean, you're picking loads off of a load board. How could they preload a trailer for you? How could it be drop and hook? And what I suggested for this guy is maybe the spot market wasn't for him. He didn't enjoy negotiating rates. And I suggested maybe he go to a large carrier like Schneider or somebody that could dispatch him. Swift. Swift was great when I was there. I don't know what they're like now, but it's spot market's not for everybody. And you have to look at a lot of moving pieces at one time. Like I mentioned, I've booked myself out for the rest of the year, but I have to know how many hours it's going to take to run those loads, how many hours I'm going to have, if I can do it legally, if I'm going to be able to pick up and deliver on time. I have to negotiate a rate that makes it worthwhile. And some people can't do that. Some people need a little more structure. And it's not me tooting my own horn. It's just like waiters and waitresses. Some people are great at it. They're natural waiters, they're natural waitresses, they provide great service. And some people, no matter how hard they try, they just can't do it. They don't have the personality, they don't have the organization, they don't have the time management skill. And trucking's no different. There's a million different avenues you can go down in trucking, and you just got to find what works for you. And so that's why you'll never see me come on here and say that SRO Logistics is the best place I've ever, or I'll say it's the best place I've ever worked. You'll never have me come on here and say it's perfect. I don't have any complaints, because that's not true. There's some things that I wish was different about SRO Logistics, but the good outweighs the bad by a long shot. And so that's why I stay. It by far is the best place I've ever worked. It's not the most money I've ever made, but whose fault is that? Well, it's my fault. I negotiate my own rates. I book my own loads. If I don't like the way I'm being dispatched, I need to dispatch myself better. And if I don't like the rates I'm getting, I need to negotiate better. And so personal responsibility goes a long way. And we need to learn to stop looking for somebody to blame and just accept responsibility for where we're at and what's going on in our life. All right, let's see here. Jags says, I would be willing to bet that Jason and whatever his name is will not be working at Hirschbach at the end of the year. I'm going to make a prediction, and I hope I'm wrong, because I want everybody to do well out here. But I'm going to predict that they're going to stay home till either the very end of December or the first part of January. This new pay package is going to come out, and they're going to say that they don't like it, that it's not right, kind of like the Ardor Super Ego deal. There's also a chance, they said, I don't know if y'all saw it, Tim did a video that was full of LGBTQ plus comments. Now, he did come back and apologize for it, but I can't imagine that video sat very well with Hirschbach. And so I would agree with you, Jags. I think they're on their way out. I would love to be wrong. I would love to hear that they're thriving there and doing well. But uh, I just there's not. I'm trying to think of what I want to say here. There's not a track record to support that. Is probably the best way to say that. Yeah, they're at Hirschbach. And Chris is here. CJ Morris. Hello there. Hello, sir. Thank you for being here. Sid said, so did you get your 2-year medical card back? No, I haven't had a 2-year medical card since I think 2008. It's because I'm on a CPAP machine. So with a CPAP machine, they're only supposed to give you a 1-year medical card. When I got my physical, they gave me a 6-month card only because I hadn't seen my cardiologist yet. And so they said when I go back in March to redo my physical, it's not going to be any problem getting a year. They just wanted me to see the cardiologist before they went all in with me. But yeah, so right now it's good till March, and then we'll hit it again then. I've been going to the same DOT physical place though for probably 10 or 12 years, and they're real good to deal with on things like that. Codename Slurper says, Merry Christmas, Todd. Merry Christmas, Codename. Thank you for being here. I'll spread the word for a referral bonus. LOL, just kidding. Well, I get why people do it. And before everybody says, well, Todd, that's what you do. I work for a company that has 7 trucks. So just hold your horses. But if I worked at a mega carrier, and I worked at Swift, and I was the #1 recruiter there for several months in a row. Even when Jason was there, I outperformed Jason. But you can go back and look. I did it the honest way. If I was upset with Swift, I'll let you know it. And sometimes that got me in trouble, and that was fine. But I was going to tell you the truth. And so that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying don't recruit. I'm not saying don't give out a recruiter's name and tell them to call and give your driver's number. I'm just saying tell the truth. If you get a $200 paycheck one week, say, hey, I got a $200 paycheck. If they cheated you out of a load or you couldn't find an empty, say it. Tell the good and the bad. And you're going to get more people that way with honesty than you are lying and deceiving and things like that. And I've already experienced that here. People will call Scott, and then I'll get messages. They'll go, Scott was just like you said. He's an honest, straight shooter. And some of them have said, he talked me out of it. I decided I don't want to do that. Or he convinced me that, yeah, I'd like to take that step at some point, but I got to get a truck first. And so I just think you can accomplish the same end goal with honesty. And I think, I've always said that this is what I like. I can go to Walmart or I can go to a truck stop and people walk up and shake my hand and say, thank you for the information. They don't come up and go, you lying SOB, and take a swing at me. And that's a good feeling when somebody walks up to you and says, that video you did about this, it really, really helped me. And I just wanted to say thank you. I'm getting a lot of people right now that are saying, even my wife likes watching your videos. We watch your videos together sometimes. Some of you tease me that my videos put you to sleep, and that's good that I have a soothing voice, or that your wife listens to me as she falls asleep. All of that's okay. But that's how, when you have a stroke, it makes you kind of look back on your life retrospectively. And that's how I want to be remembered, as somebody that was helping people and that was trying to do the right thing. It doesn't mean that I haven't messed up and made some mistakes. There's clips on the internet of me, chewing out Jason. And I still don't get the joke about y'all have a good night. That's a normal saying here down in the South, but evidently some of the Yankees think that's funny, and that's fine too. If you can't laugh at yourself, you shouldn't laugh at anybody else, and so that's fine if they want to poke fun at me. But yeah, that's what I'd say about that. Right Way to Truck says, "Hey Todd, hey Right Way, I got a video coming out here quick as I can finish doing it. That I had never talked about orientation at SRO Logistics. They actually had the largest orientation that they had ever had when I went back to orientation. It was me and two other guys for a total of three guys. One of them was Right Way to Truck, and so I'm going to do a video. I'll talk about orientation, tell you about meeting those two guys, and I was only there for one night. They were there for a little longer because I kind of knew the routine since I'd been through it before. But yeah, we're going to do an SRO logistics orientation video. I'm going to tell you how things have been going out here, things like that. So make sure you're subscribed. So when I finally get that video edited and out, you'll be one of the first to see it. Manchester, been a while since I've checked on fuel cards. I currently use TSD fuel card. Am I missing out on good fuel cards? Any suggestions? Yes, sir. The ES Advantage fuel card is still my go-to fuel card. Let me get the link for that and I'll post it for y'all. All you do is answer about 4 or 5 quick questions, and then they will email you, or they will contact you with details. Copy. Almost there, folks. The great thing about this fuel card is they don't go off your credit. So if you're credit challenged or anything like that, it's not a big deal. They can still work with you, and big savings. Definitely check it out. I still recommend keeping the ones you got though, because they all have their strong spots and weak spots. Get on Mudflap. I've got a link for Mudflap also. You can go to www.truckertodd.net, and I've got all those links there as well. But yeah, get these fuel cards and compare them as a part of your pre-trip every morning. Look at all of them, see where you plan your route for the day, where the cheapest fuel is. Is ES Advantage the cheapest 100% of the time? No, but it is probably 90+% of the time. And then I've got one through SRO Logistics. I use it a lot as well, especially right around the holidays when money's tight. But yeah, that's definitely something to check out. Get Mudflap, use my link for that as well. And they give you some free fuel. I think it's like $10 worth of free fuel. Do that as well. And that's your biggest cost in trucking. So anywhere you can save money there is going to benefit you. But I know you know that. I'm saying this because I've got a lot of new people that watch too. And so I'm doing that for their benefit as well. Happy holidays, everyone, says Michael. Yes, if you're just joining us, happy holidays. I prefer to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year, but I hope you get a chance to spend it with loved ones and people you care about. Red Raider Reloading, we normally do Mexican food for Christmas. I'm doing ribs with potato salad, sweet baked beans, etc. Man, that sounds good. And they say your taste buds change every 7 years. I've never been a big rib guy because they're messy, but they're starting to grow on me. So I'm getting to where I like ribs the older I get. And Michael says he starts a new job at the first of the year. Do you want to say where you're going or what you're going to be doing, or do you want to keep that under wraps for now? And Skyline is here. Good to see you again. He says, hello, Todd. Did you make it home yet? Yeah. I've always said the most embarrassing question I get asked is how often do I go home? I've basically been home since, oh boy, I don't even know. I'd have to go back and look. I've been home a while. I've been doing short loads around here, I think since last weekend. And so a little over a week. I've been doing short loads. I took a mail load down to Midland. I've done a couple of runs, over to Dallas and back and things like that. Main thing is I just didn't want to get out and not be able to get back. And so I'm still making the revenue and all of that, but I'm running basically intrastate, Texas only type stuff right now. I did the other day run up to Colorado, and then I ran from Nebraska back down to Texas. So I just been kind of doing, I guess you'd call me a super regional right now. But yeah, I've been home a lot lately. And even the 26th, when I go out the rest of this year, I'll just be running to Dallas and back. And then in January, I'm going to start spreading my wings and traveling the country again. So Lance says, is StreamYard what they use to simulcast? It's one of the services you can use. I'd say it's probably the most popular. They do have a free version, but it only limits you to like 2 different platforms, and I've got 4, so I need the subscription service. I mean, I guess I could do the free one, and then after the show's over, I could take the link and submit it on the other platforms. But it's better if you can do them all at once, because then you get more comments and stuff, and it makes the show a little more interesting. The more people you have in the comments. As far as going on other shows, like where you'll see 2 or 3 YouTubers come on together and they're all playing it on their channel, you can do that on the free version, and it's pretty simple to do. I tried to find information how to do it and had a hard time finding anything, but I basically figured it out on my own. When you start having to deal with brokers yourself, it's a totally different ball game than having one dispatch you. Yes, sir. Justin Riley said that, and I agree completely. Right now, I've got about 3 or 4 of them that they call me every week. They know I live in Lubbock, and they're like, "Hey, I had one call me this afternoon. He said, 'Hey, I got this load coming up on the 30th. I know you've done them for us in the past. Would you like to do another one?'" And I complained about, well, it's the holidays and I really need some help on the rate. And he came up $50 on the rate. So that's how you do it. But, you get to know them. My legal name, because Todd's actually my middle name, but it's what I've gone by since birth. My legal name, there's a famous baseball player that has that same name. And one of the brokers is a big baseball fan, so he teases me about my legal name every time he calls. But you kind of build a rapport with them. One of the brokers I talked to this morning, he's normally in Phoenix. He was working out of the California office today, and you get to know him, and it doesn't have to be adversarial. Like, a lot of people view brokers as the enemy, and I view them as a partner, and maybe that's naive of me, but it just makes me approach them differently on the phone. And before I ever ask about the load, I'm like, "Hey man, how's your day going? Y'all busy? You got big plans for Christmas?" And kind of throw them off, because they're used to, "I want this load going from Dallas to Houston. What's the rate on it?" And just be a little more friendly. And I realize that a lot of truck drivers don't have people skills, but try to develop some. And some days mine are better than others. Some of you have talked to me on the phone before, and I can be a grouch one day and the nicest guy you've ever met the next day. But sounds like Justin does what I do. He deals with brokers every day, and sounds like he's probably pretty good at it because he realizes the challenges that are there. And he also says, all you hear is how good they are doing. It's a no-brainer. Yep, exactly. Exactly. And for me, and I'll just say this, if somebody tells me the company's perfect, there's no problems, it's the greatest place ever, then I'm going to be naturally skeptical. I'm going to research that company even more. Now, if you do like I do and you say, hey, for me, it works great, couple things I don't like, but they're not bad enough to quit over, then that's a lot more believable, because most of you work a job that you like and everything, but none of you think your job's perfect. You may think it's really good. You may be like me and feel like it's the best place you've ever worked. But you know, if they made you the owner tomorrow, you'd probably change one or two policies or something like that. And so, uh, yeah. Anyway, I'm sure we'll broach that subject a little more. Tactical trucking trash talk. Man, say that 4 times real fast. Coach said multiple times he's going to retire there. They're done job hopping. Well, um, let me think how I want to answer that. He's awful young to retire, but I guess we'll see. I may be wrong. I would love to be wrong. And look who's here. Chris Bollinger. Good to see you again, my friend. I've been meaning to call you and tell you Merry Christmas. Heard you had a tough week, so I was just giving you some space. But yeah, we got to talk sometime soon. Let me know what's going on with you. Sid said, eating ribs, you have all them all over your face. Yeah, and the worst part is then you end up with them on your clothes. Maybe I've got some old T-shirts from that accountant that I used to work with. Maybe I'll wear one of his shirts and eat barbecue ribs. Red Raider Reloading, my ribs are not messy, just pepper and salt and garlic. Fall off the bone. That sounds good. You're making me hungry. I'm trying to think what I've got in there to. Oh, today I got some leftovers in there to eat. I went to Fuddruckers today and it was expensive and average at best. Justin Riley, every day, all day. He's referring to dealing with brokers. Yep, and for some people, it's their thing. I enjoy it. I enjoy that more than the driving. But for some people, it's just not what they want to do. All right, we're caught up on the comments. We still got 26 people here, so we'll keep going. But if you could give me a thumbs up and share this video on your social media platforms. We've got 26 thumbs up. Well, no, I can't see on that screen. Looks like we've only got 9 thumbs up right now. Help me out and subscribe while you're in there. I appreciate it. Tell your friends, get them in here. We're going to start doing the live show again on Tuesdays and Thursdays, probably right after the holidays. If you guys want one this Tuesday, then, well, that'd be tomorrow. If you guys want another one tomorrow, let me know. We'll try to make it happen. Or if something newsworthy happens, we'll make it happen anyway. And Michael says, Thomas and Sons Distribution, Springfield, Oregon. I am not familiar with them. What do they do? Oh, yeah. He says he soaks his ribs in Coca-Cola overnight. I've heard that's really good too. And I've been to some barbecue places that have Dr. Pepper ribs that are really good too. Corey Oatley says your situation is definitely my goal, but seriously, cash dropped after the last couple of years. Really hoping 2025 is better. Yeah, that's another thing I'm going to do a video about. Is I don't think there's a need to do a lease purchase anymore. There's so many companies that'll finance you, even with bad credit. If you just put a few thousand down, and I'm talking 2 to 5,000. You can get your own truck. Now the lease purchase, then you've got the support of the company, but oftentimes you're tied to that company, you're under their thumb, and they can let you pay on the truck for a while and starve you out if they want to. So I definitely recommend buying a truck instead of doing a lease purchase type deal whenever possible. I'm not going to come on here and tell you every lease purchase is bad. I just think times have evolved and better opportunities are available. And I would agree with what you said about having some money saved up before you jump into it. Your chances of success go up infinitely the more money you have saved. As far as doing what I do, the number one thing I like about it is, and it's not money. I know people that tell me, hey, I want to do it for the money. I say, don't do it because there's no guarantee the money's going to be any better. Matter of fact, it could be worse depending on how your truck does, what the market does. Do it for the freedom. And, it's nice. I can come home. No dispatchers call me saying, hey, Todd, when are you going to run again? I know when I need to run. I'm an adult. And so it's nice. If I don't want to leave Texas, I don't have to leave Texas. I can do loads around Texas. If I want to go to any state other than Oregon or California, I can go. And so it's a freedom that very few truck drivers get to experience in their life. And that's what I like about it. And sure, do I make a lot of money? Sometimes. Sometimes I don't make any more than the company driver does. But it's that freedom, it's that respect. When Scott calls me, and you're going to experience this if you ever talk to him on the phone, there's a mutual respect there, and that's something that's hard to find in trucking. Michael says he's going to be doing open deck work. All right, man. Is that something you've done that? You've been doing that for a while, hadn't you? I was thinking that you were like a flatbedder or open deck guy all along. Gary Cook, I went to Petro in Gary, Indiana for dinner, had spaghetti and meatballs with iced tea and a slice of cheesecake. Paid $29. The cheesecake was $7.50, but it was good. Yeah, I was just gonna say, the Petro is good. That one in Gary, Indiana is really good, but it's expensive. These truck stops have got, if you're not careful, you can spend $15 or $20 on fast food at a truck stop. And if they've got a sit down restaurant, you can really run up a $30 bill quick, and that's before you put the tip on there. Michael says, not Cordell, don't waste your time. Yeah, I agree with that. Probably my biggest mistake of 2024 was dealing with them. That's why this is fun to watch, though, because I don't always get it right. I make mistakes, and since I tell you the truth, you can learn from the donkey and not do what I did. And when I do something right, you can say, hey, I need to do that too. So it's a great opportunity for people to learn from my mistakes. Skyline says, I'm waiting on my second round of recaps, 245 miles to get home. I really wish you a Merry Christmas and a happy, healthy, productive 2025. Many blessings to you and your family. Well, thanks, Skyline. I appreciate that. Give me a call sometime. Let me know how you're doing. Starting the 26th, I'm going to be driving a lot. So those of you that's got my number, give me a call. And if I'm not on the phone with somebody, I'll sure talk to you. Yeah, I was going to mention this, and I thought, well, I don't have Red Raider's permission to say this, but we were talking the other day, and he told me he had made $90,000 this year as a company man. And before anybody comes on here and goes, I'm a company guy and I make 120, Red Raider's home usually every day, sometimes every other day, and he's got a pretty gravy job. So for what he does, 90,000's great. not bad at all. He drives new equipment, um, and and they've got a pretty decent benefits package. And you might be asking, how do I know that? I used to work for a company that was contracted to the company he works for, and I got to see up close and hear those guys talk about the deal they have over there. So, um, for those that say, "Oh, company drivers, they're never at home. They're they just go there and sleep and they're back out." That's definitely not true. In Red Raiders' case, he has a home life. He has a great work-life balance and a pretty good job as a company guy. I don't fault him for doing what he's doing at all. Gary Cook wants to know how the truck's doing. It's doing great. So far, the only issue I had one flat tire. I ran over a nail, and I stopped at this Love's here in Lubbock that I get a lot of repair work and maintenance work done with, and they patch the tire in and out for like $55 or something like that. And other than that, truck's running great. Um, Nothing to complain about at this time. So let's just keep our prayers and our fingers crossed that it continues into the new year. I still don't have the nest egg I'd like to have. There's going to be some things coming up in about 5 weeks. I'm going to have to get a service and some stuff like that. So I need to get a good nest egg started. So I'll be prepared when that time comes. My finances are fixed to improve a lot. My escrow with SRO just has a few weeks left on it, and my plates are almost paid off as well. I think I got 5 or 6 weeks left on that, and then my income will go up quite a bit. Also, I'm about to be at the year mark with Scott, and then I get that 2% increase, so I'll be at 82%. And so there's definitely room for optimism. Michael says, originally, yes, been dispatching my own trucks and running a shop. Sold them both. The deal was finalized today. Oh, man, I had no idea. Well, congratulations. It sounds like things are going your way and you're going to be doing what you want to do. So uh, I'll be looking forward to hearing how it's working out for you. Uh, After you've done it a couple of weeks, let us know in the comments or email me and let me know how it's going over there. The reason I ask how y'all are doing at your companies is twofold. One of them is I'm just genuinely curious in how y'all are doing. The other one is if somebody calls me and says, "Hey, what do you think about uh, that company?" I can say, "Well, I've never worked there, but I know a guy that works there, and he's really, really, really happy there." Or I can say, "Well, he hates it there. That Thomas and Sons is a great company, or it's a terrible company." And so it allows me to help others, and uh, and so I appreciate when y'all tell me about your companies. Now I ain't gonna lie to you and tell you I remember every single company, but it's just fun to watch y'all grow and make changes in your life, and see where you end up. And just like you're learning from me and the mistakes I make, I'm learning from you and the mistakes you make, or the successes you have. So it's mutually beneficial for everybody involved. And plus, when you put it in the comments, maybe somebody else will reach out to you. You can get one of those golden referral bonuses that everybody seems to be after these days. All right, we're caught up again. I wasn't sure how tonight would go, how many people we'd have here, but I felt like I wanted to get on here and complain about my neurologist and complain about this trend on YouTube to recruit at all costs. And so y'all just let me know if y'all want me to try to pop one out tomorrow night, and we'll do another live tomorrow night. I'm kind of feeling like I need to with these new StreamYard increases. So may do one tomorrow night. I know a lot of people missed tonight. We'll get them on the replay. Like I don't see Rob Rossi in here, some of those guys, but maybe they didn't get the notification. I don't know. But anyway, if y'all have got anything else, throw it up and we'll talk about it. If you don't, I'm going to hop off here and get on into my night. Give you just a few more seconds to get your comment typed. Worked on, Michael says he worked on T&S trucks and trailers in the past. So is your background generally in maintenance and repair, or is it generally in truck driving, or have you kind of done a little bit of both over the years? Because I knew from before you have a lot of knowledge, and so I'm just curious. You may be one of my experts I need to ask when I got maintenance questions. I've got a couple of people. Scott's really knowledgeable about maintenance. I call him sometimes if I've got something that's over my head. And then I've got a YouTuber that I've got to know fairly well that I'll call him with some maintenance questions sometimes as well. Justin said, I make more money running 500 miles circle around where I live than I can running more miles. Is it like that in Texas? Yeah, I would say generally so. I can make more money running Lubbock to Dallas and back than I can over the road running a 1,500-mile load. And I've shared this in videos. I run a lot of 300 to 600-mile loads because it seems that's where the rate is. And I've never really, I do focus on rate per mile, but I focus on revenue per day more. I like to be at least 1,000 a day revenue. Do I always hit it every day? No. Sometimes it's 800, but sometimes it's 12 or 1,500. And so that's what I do. But I agree with you. Some people, it's hard for them to transition because their whole life they've ran miles, and they think I've got to have 3,000 miles a week. And you don't have to have 3,000 miles a week. You can have 2,000 miles a week if the miles pay good. You've just got to have the revenue to meet your expenses both at home and on the road, and put some away for when your truck breaks, because it doesn't matter what truck you got, what brand it is, how new it is, it's going to break at some point. And I don't know why that comment went away and came back, but yeah, I totally agree with you. And Texas is big enough that, if you get tired of doing Lubbock to Dallas, you can go down to Houston, over to San Antonio. There's ways to keep yourself going. I don't go to El Paso a lot because it's a lot of cheap loads going over and coming out sometimes. But if you just know where to go and where not to go, sometimes dip up into Oklahoma or Arkansas. But I'm not married to any part of the country. I'm willing to go wherever the rate is. I hate the Northeast. My Elite Pass came in, my toll transponder, so now I can skip the scales and run the toll roads and be pretty productive out here. Michael says, and I think we'll probably wrap it up with this comment unless we get anything else while I'm reading it. He says, you have a blessed night, brother. Had a CDL since I was 18, went to diesel in Nashville, grew up on a dairy. That explains why you got your knowledge that you got. Well, I've enjoyed you being in here tonight and appreciated all the comments. I'm going to go ahead and hop out of here. You guys that are subscribed, be looking. We may do another video tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, I'll have a good headset. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.